Good evening, folks in Zelda 1 Randomizer land. I hope you all are excited for a late night first round tournament match. We got the first round of SGL brackets. Really excited for this particular matchup. We got Shatty and jkoper about to get things going. I'm Flurry, deciding usually I will do a bunch of late night SGL flags, but this kind of match, I got to get in there. And I'm joined by Fury SK. How you doing, man?
Well, I'm staying awake. I mean, you gotta watch these two old men go at it.
Yeah, this will be a good one. Both of these runners have been around for a very long time, so we're definitely going to get to see some interesting takes on how the experienced runners handle these SGL flags. How have you been feeling about these SGL flags so far?
I mean, it makes for some good entertainment. I mean, some flags are really painful, some flags are helpful. I mean, we're going to get less than a 14 heart mags. That's always nice to have. Get the 12 instead.
Yeah, we've had a couple of those for sure that have been pretty rough, and we're about to get going. So here our starting point in Candle Row. We are working with a second quest mixed overworld. So the main consequence of that, money is going to be exceptionally sparse. We only have one large secret, and we have 10 door pairs. So spend money wisely. Neither of these runners, I imagine, would be blue ring enthusiasts, but banking on getting a candle shop purchase, not necessarily in the cards. We see the runners decide to take two different spots. How do you like to route the overworld when you're in these particular flags?
Whichever way is the least painful is usually the way I go first, because otherwise I'm dead. But it really just depends on your start, probably. If you start somewhere neutral with the Armos statue housing a heart container, it's not like direly important to go to those first. I did find a level looks like 6 is in the grave open cave, so Cooper probably going to do a little bit of navigating unless there's just ladder blocks everywhere, in which case he'll leave. But maybe hoping for a freebie. Yeah, I really don't think it matters as much in this flag set, just because the Armos item isn't super priority anymore.
Yeah, Shatty does find the wood sword first. That'll be very nice for him. We are also working with unsorted shapes. Normally, 1, 2, and 3, they're the smallest ones. 4, 5, and 6, kind of in the middle. 7 and 8, much larger. Not so here. And it just seems that a lot of tournament matches, 6 is kind of rolled relatively small. So, anytime you get a chance to maybe pull a floor item, jkoper managed to get 4 bombs right off the rip. This will help with his routing. You'll be able to get this bomb spot right here. And yeah, we saw 28 was the mid secret. That is quite bad on the second quest overall, where we're already kind of hurting for money. So, it can be a little rough.
Yeah, it's 9, it's 28, and we will find out probably a door repair before we actually see the large.
So far, I haven't seen too many nefarious enemies on the overworld so far. We did catch Lionels in 6, so we know they're not going to be in the overworld. That's about all. I mean, the Pole's Voice, they can be a little damaging if they decide to bunch up, but honestly, I'd rather see them in the overworld than dungeons anyway.
Yeah, so what looks to have happened here is it looks like there's kind of a hodgepodge enemy set going in one of the dungeons, and usually that's a sign that you're going to get two very annoying enemies together, but not always. Talking like Dark Nuts and Wizrobes in the same dungeon, for example, could happen in this case, I think.
Ugh.
Because what happened was the line was the only thing that went down, but you got the ropes, you got the Pole's Voice, and you got the Gibdo all in the overworld in their spot. So something went amiss down there that's not going to be too friendly is what I suspect happened, but we'll find out.
Yeah, Shetty finds level 2. Stevie decides to maybe catch a floor item. No, we're just going to, well, hopefully see if we can pull a bomb from this Gibdo here. Level 2 with 2 floor items, you're more likely to find something if you didn't have a sword, but Shetty does have a sword, so let's see what we can get done here. keys generally have been pretty good in SGL flags, at least from my experience, because you tend to clear a lot more. We're on full heart shuffle here, and since we don't have unordered shapes to necessarily prioritize which dungeons we want and don't want to dig, you kind of often just see dig a lot of them, or all of them. So keys tend to not be a problem until, of course, they are.
Yeah, I think the math guys and gals on this one kind of theorized that the unsorted shapes has benefited some of the smaller dungeons that usually are key block now have some more open doors to play with, because on the whole they're a little bit larger now. Of course, there's a chance they could roll their standard size, but that has freed up a little bit of the smaller dungeon number exploration.
Alright, jkoper finds wood sword, so we're about even there. Shatty did want to give that landmo a go, but is deciding to go and press forward. Well, we know dark nuts are in dungeons too, and they rolled down. Our enemies are plus or minus 4, so these 4 HP dark nuts, at least minus 3. That is very nice to find, especially for a bomb dropping enemy. Oh, goody, more landmo.
Yeah. The center BMO statues with Lambo means that you're going to get the double bullet that goes into the door. So he tried to use the door trick, and they double shot him not once but twice in like 2 sequences there.
Alright, jkoper is going to go ahead and head down south again. Might be heading toward the Lost Woods. Although, we definitely want to find a candle at some point. We do have free candles on, so usually you will see runners take a candle with the first take any. So we know there's one available somewhere. That shop is not a shop we want to go to at any time soon.
We're going to get a map look here in a second from Shatty, because we had that empty Triforce room, but that is a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is a thing. I got nothing.
Well, 3 hearts now, he can afford to get sniped a bunch in this doorway.
There we go. Should be able to bomb left in that room if he so desires.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. He's gonna bomb these guys since he has that bomb back on the floor. See if there's not something important in this room. Could be an item, could be a Triforce, could be a compass, could be nothing.
Oh, there you go. It's a compass.
If you throw enough names at the wall, one of them sticks, and you look at it.
And we're triple segmented here, so there's definitely going to be some push block rooms, often into. You might not necessarily check those, but we're going to do that here. Oh, Goma, that's not what you want to see in a dungeon with 2 floor items.
Yeah, chat's pointing out too. It's a little interesting they chose to burn the key before using the bomb left, but in any event, I guess it's good to know the Goma's in here, just in case you have one item that is outstanding by the time you're done clearing all this up.
Well, some good news. The keys did not roll up. One of the more infuriating things in these flags is when those keys roll +3 or +4. Super Mega Bats are not particularly enjoyable, but they didn't here, so we're good to go.
Yeah, unfortunately paying a bit of a price now with that key door, but we'll see if he goes for the Triforce. Looks like he's going to go down and try and clear this room, which is going to be a bit scary.
Yeah, can only take 1 hit here.
I'm going to hope to get the bomb to work out again one more time, or maybe just try and sword beam. The single unit has hit the full one every time so far. Did get 1 in there, so it's 2, 3, 3. Get out of there.
There you go. Alright, well at least we got an item out of it. Floor heart container. And I suspect that will be all we'll see from Shatty. We'll get this Triforce from the 1 HP Dark Nuts, get a bomb drop for good measure, and we're done here. jkoper, if he's a little, if he doesn't spend a key in that one key door, might be able to get away with exploring a little bit more of this too.
Yeah, the question will be, it's going to be difficult to decide where to burn this key if he doesn't burn it on the door going up in this column. Because I know that there's another key door. He just goes straight up. Well, I kind of get it more in Coper's situation because he had the land bola still in that room, so he was under some pressure to just go up. But in the end, I think they'll be basically equal. So no harm, no foul yet.
Alright, Shatty's gonna head toward the top right. Casino corner and the like. We got some bombs so we can full clear this area. Keys at 74 is great. Bombs at 38 is absolutely horrible.
Yeah, not a great look, but we do know that at least in dungeons, if we get the Dark Nut set, it would be really easy to build up a count and get some potential bomb drops.
Yeah, Moblins are definitely one of the nicer overworld bomb droppers that you can roll to, so there's definitely no shortage here of bomb droppers if our owners decide to go that route and just 38 rupees on a bomb. No thanks. Alright, jkoper is going to get that Triforce. Won't likely go back in to get that heart container, and we'll continue overworld exploration from there. Still no large secret. There's only one, so we might not even find it tonight.
Yeah, I wonder what Coper's strategy is going to be in these rooms. Is he going to try and just bomb them, or is he... I'm trying to figure out where he's going. I guess he's going to try and go left there, but gives up on it.
Yeah, it's rough. You hate leaving a small dungeon like this with none of the items. So I understand the desire to want to go back in. But those landmos, you're only sitting on 3 hearts. It'd be kind of rough.
So, like, the play here for me is there is a Kanana key available with that Triforce room with the map in it, the red Dark Nuts. I believe there's a shutter on the top and there's a key door on the bottom. That's my guess as to what his play is here, but not 100%.
And let's see, if he heads down, that would definitely be the indication there. Yep, you might be right. And we get our white sword item from Shatty in the top right. It is the book. Well, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's relatively useful in this flag set, so I definitely don't think it's something turned down.
Yeah. One of the problems with unsorted shapes is you don't necessarily know if you're walking into a dungeon that is absolutely massive or not. The book is definitely going to help with that. Good Kanana from Coper. We'll see if we get the second floor item from here. 1 HP Stalfo is much better than anything else we've seen, but does not get a reward from it.
So this dungeon's being pretty cute with this design. It's you gotta take the first staircase to burn a key to take the second staircase in that little segment to go to the other segment, is how it sets up. It looks like. Unless there's a room that I missed, that's the only way to get to those other 2 rooms. Hey, another small dungeon though. And it stayed fairly small, so keys may be a problem, or they may not.
Yeah, always happy to see level 1, 2 floor items and a staircase item. And why are we going to get the staircase item right away? No, game can't be that nice. Alright, well, we find the gorillas. They also rolled down 2 HP.
So the question is, will we get the Wizrobes and the gorillas paired off together, or will the game be nice?
Yeah, they gotta be somewhere. Don't necessarily want to spend a key on something that only opens 1 room, at least not yet, when it's pretty close to the start, so understand Shatty deciding to go elsewhere, and hey, I heard you like key doors, have 3 more. Alright, well, the keys from the Vires rolled up to, what was that, 4? That's not fun. Alright, time to guess for game. We're going to go down.
Yeah, I think you can go up I think start is up there, so basically you can go down or choose to basically go back to start.
Level 1, earning its reputation as often being key locked. That's 6 key doors by my count thus far.
Hey, I heard you like the 4 HP keys. We're just going to make them the red splitting fire keys this time.
Ugh. And you don't want to spend all your bombs on these guys, but... Sitting on green tunic and low health, you're like, it's just keys. There's no way I'm going to lose like 2.5 hearts of health here. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I like down as the decision from Shatty on this as well. As jkoper will see the book, cannot pick it up because he did not get the heart out of 2.
Alright, we got the recorder as our first floor item out of 1. Not sure if we mentioned it as far as the heart requirements. I think you alluded to it earlier. White Sword is straight up 5, so that's, like you said, jkoper not getting that 1 heart container out of 2. Is the reason why I couldn't pick that up. Is able to purchase a candle shop. Boy, I said at the beginning, not something you see very often, and then jkoper proving me wrong. But always happy to get the candle. Magic Sword is set at 12. And Patcher showed up. Great.
Yeah, another interesting call to make here. We know this is a potential staircase. We have the Triforce right there as well, so if Shatty dies here, he could opt to take the Triforce and then come back with sword themes for this room. However, he does a pretty good job of clearing up the Patcher again.
Yeah, really nicely done. It is not the staircase item, though. That's a bummer. We're going to go to the right. This could be one. Don't want to get hit by boomerang, though.
Yeah, well, matter of time.
That. My bad.
Not much of a commentator's curse on that one with that many Gria in that room. It was almost inevitable happening.
Alright, Koper does unlock the door on the left side, but doesn't get anything out of it. Alright, nice bomb drop. That'll allow us to use bombs on the rest of these Grias. Easy work. Nicely done. And another key.
Alright, I think this is probably going to be the staircase now, given how many trolls we've had. There's not enough room to trolls anymore.
Yeah, we're definitely getting low on rooms here. There it is. And we get another heart container.
That will, of course, be a bigger benefit to jkoper than it probably is to Shatty at the moment. Give him 6 more hearts, and he'll gladly take it.
Yeah, that's a good point. jkoper very likely just can go back and get the book. And I missed that. What do you pick up?
It's a very important item needed to complete the seed. It's a boat.
Oh, always happy to see that. And Shatty was pretty close to being able to purchase arrows. We did see them on the way to one, but I believe it was in the 70s, so not quite there yet. Alright.
We can choose to meme now and say now all it has to do is find level 7 for his silvers, but the one time I meme it hard enough, the silvers won't land in there.
It's only if you leave 7 early, then the game just retroactively puts them in there. I swear that's what happens. Like, this tournament, more than anything else, has kind of made me believe the never 7 rule that you often hear people talk about. Alright, another heart container for Shatty is going to go ahead and clear out East Death Mountain here while he's got the bombs. Oh, even the blue moblins are 1 HP. That is very nice. Alright, anything else in East Death Mountain? Well, We get our cheap meat shop. Blue ring is 232. Probably not going to find the money for that. Shatty says, all right, we're good. Let's go utilize this candle. And there's our large secret, 95. Not terrible, not great. Can buy arrows if he so just chooses to do that right now, but we're just going to go ahead and keep exploring. Oh, he's been here before. Maybe that is where we're going. Yep. Yeah, with 10 door repairs, you kind of, anytime you have a purchase in mind, you kind of want to make it right away.
In the meantime, jkoper is kind of en route to picking up all the items he's going to need out of this dungeon. Got the flute already and is kind of en route to the staircase, heart, and the bow one room to the north. I don't think there's a key in the way, so you'll also get a key in this room.
Yeah, I think that sounds right, because they had the same amount of keys going in. Might have one, finish with one less, because jkoper did unlock the door on the bottom left of this dungeon, but we'll get our container here. Level 5, that is also a thing. But we're not going to stick around. There's the floor bow for jkoper. Can now get the Triforce, or already got the Triforce, so we're out of here.
Yep. So, small lead building for Shatty in terms of a single heart container, perhaps, but it seems like just in routing so far has been just a little bit quicker through some of these places. Koper's also got to get back to the book to get the maps. That's something that he feels is important, which, again, we know the map logic in a lot of these dungeons now at this point in this game, but still, it's nice to have, especially for some of the ones that roll larger. Some more shenanigans can kind of ensue.
Yeah, we've already seen in Dungeon 2 and Dungeon 1 not being necessarily big. 5 is about average. That usually kind of means one of these dungeons is just waiting to terrorize your free time by being like 36 rooms. Yeah, that's a good. I wouldn't be surprised to see jkoper just kind of get the candle stuff on the way, but want to get that book. The earlier you can get that book, the more impactful it's going to be. And Shatty, while he has the money to do so, is going to buy a key. Always a smart idea.
Yeah, the only thing that was ever going to be in range at this point, I think, was a potential bait block, and that's pretty low percent, so if he hadn't already purchased that, I don't blame him for just ignoring it for now.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and clean up these lost woods. There's level 7. That's actually a respectable size level 7. But we're going to go ahead and try to find something else.
Yeah, looks like Shatty is hunting some of the lower number dungeons, just in case they happen to roll a bit lower. Although, you don't really want to go back to this screen, so maybe just kind of gonna check these spots that are easy to get to for a moment and make sure there's not something nicer underneath. Doesn't appear so.
Yeah, definitely a benefit of finding the book is being able to be a little more discerning about which dungeons you decide you want to dive and which ones you don't. But I like the idea of let's see what else is in the Dead Woods before we leave and head toward the grave spot and see if there's something a little more appetizing or if you just get more hearts. Like Shatty's sitting at 9 health already, so that's pretty good. Might have found all the take any's thus far. It's always great. Only 3 away from eggs.
Yeah, looked like Shay for a second there tried to punish himself with a mismark, but ended up being a potion cave and he figured it out. So you saw a little bit of reaction on his side to that, but looks like 7th is going to be off the table for the moment. as jkoper found level 9 in the central forest, I call it, I guess, because it's kind of in the middle. And then he found that because he's working his way to the book. So.
Yep, does pick it up, so we'll have the benefit of being able to see what size the dungeons are as soon as we enter. Shatty gonna. One other benefit of going to the Dead Woods and into the grave is that there are quite a bit of flute spots, so want to get those out of the way as soon as you can. Only have to make one trip into this area, so that'll be very nice.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy that jkoper had to go back and get the book, because now we actually have some route divergence, so we'll see who gets more luck in their routing at this point.
Yeah, jkoper has checked some of the stuff in the grave area, but Shatty's going to be able to one-shot it, whereas jkoper now in the eastern forest, boy, just being able to find some of these dungeons, you know, if it get the ladder really early, that'd be nice. But I don't believe, to answer chat, I don't believe jkoper, did he pick up the arrows?
Yeah, he made a beeline for him. Probably just got eaten by the tracker, because the tracker gets hungry.
I can relate. Alright, so with 6 bombs, would you consider trying to do West Death Mountain up here? Or would you want to head to the forest to kind of prioritize the candle spots?
It's going to be interesting. Oh, the 6 has a one-off. But I think if you have 6 bombs, you just go west and you skip like the first couple of caves and you bomb like the top 4 and then the 2 that are on either side of the potential power bracelet spot. That way, if you have to come back, you can kind of easily route in the ones that you missed, as opposed to kind of going further deeper in, maybe having to up A later.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Shatty would really love to be able to pull the Triforce out of here, so this way we can flute back to 6 if necessary. But, you know, Lionel's in a congested room can be tricky. Definitely a nice fairy pickup there.
8 HP, by the way.
Yeah. Ugh. And we don't exactly have a lot of money to be spending on these arrows, so...
Is this going to be the one-off? That's the question.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
He's tempted to leave it be, but he's just got to see.
Yeah, we do have remove most open stairs on this, so you're not likely. It can happen, but you're not as likely to necessarily walk into a one-off staircase room that has an item, but it can happen. And patron number 2.
Yeah, it can definitely spawn in the corner or something, and if you also have like if the right-hand staircase actually stays in, then it can still spawn in the middle. So definitely worth checking it if you start running low on options. I don't know that I'd love to find it with my first staircase, but if this is the one though, this would kind of be the end of this left side of the main segment, so it would be terrible.
Yeah, Shatty was kind of hoping the Dodongo would veer a little bit left. This way he'd be able to get the bomb wall and the Dodongo in spot, but finds the transport staircase is not going to take it this time.
Yeah, he knows where that one goes. I guess he's just going to hope that it's not going to be the situation where you kind of have the item in the corner. He's going to hope it's like a key or a bomb pack or something. Not as... It's funny, though, that jkoper has managed to find his way back here anyways, after kind of veering off towards the book, is now back towards the same exact screen where he found level 6 earlier, so...
Yeah, it's going to spend the key right away to go into the right side, so now we were wondering where the Wizrobes are. They are here in 6.
So it's Lionel Wizrobe, which is not fantastic. There's a boomerang.
Speaking of things that are not fantastic.
And that is going to be the item staircase that jkoper has, so he's going to have a potential much quicker 6.
And oh, is that an item we want? The ladder.
And we know via Shatty's screen that the Triforce is in that Chevy room, I believe. So So jkoper's
Oh,
going to walk left, and he's going to get the Chevy room knowledge, and he's going to hey, I got a ladder now for this, and oh boy, these guys are beefy.
yeah, very productive level 6 thus far. Shatty kind of mired in this blue wizard room that unfortunately is not going to give any reward here.
He's probably going to get taken out in that doorway eventually. These guys like to just teleport up into the HUD anyways.
As if on cue.
You know, it's going to send him back to start. He's got a chance to work around the Chevy, though, so it's going to maybe save him time, that guy teleporting in there. He's got to burn a key, but it's going to pay off big.
Yep, and you're absolutely right. As what he does is going to find the boomerang and the ladder, and we'll be able to get this Triforce out and save himself a lot of time and honestly a lot of bombs. We're on West Death Mountain. You kind of don't want to leave this dungeon with only 1 or 2 bombs to your name. So being able to come out and Red Wizard's helping to that effort too. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, the boomerang stuff here is not a meme at all. It's we got bow and arrow, so we're just going to ignore them.
Yeah, there's a time and place for the boomerang's usefulness, but we are well past it at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is, blue or normal color, you're still going to take it until you have ranged weaponry. So, since we have that covered until we burn the last 18 rupees on one side, or 16 now, 15, or 148.
Yeah, a little bit of difference in money, mostly from Shatty deciding to buy the key. Still sitting on 2 keys, so next dungeon that could come up huge, but you definitely would love to have a lot of rupees to spend on arrows when you have enemies that roll up that high, especially projectile enemies like Lionels.
So we're getting a little bit more evened out at this point in terms of the leads. I mean, jkoper 6 is about as quick as it's going to get. So maybe made up a little bit of the time that he was behind. Although any of this is pretty much useless if level 9 ends up being big and troublesome to navigate. Because they'll just eat up time no matter what. Any small lead means nothing.
Yeah, level 9 can definitely equalize in that respect. Shatty's going to check the Eastern Ladder bomb spots. Does open up, but it is that 38 rupee bomb that we never want to have to buy ever. jkoper heading towards West Death Mountain. Shatty's going to check the forgotten spots.
Cooper's going to have to build a count here pretty soon. He's down to 2 bombs. Does find a level, though, and it's a rather large level 4, but definitely one that he'll dig before going any further. So,
yeah.
No, I mean, it's 27, I think, so it's not awful. No, it's more than that, actually. They're 5s, not 4s. No, so that's pretty bad.
Yeah, this is, I think it's around 30, just by my estimate. So we're definitely up there, but I think you had mentioned earlier sometimes when if you're looking at a bomb count that's a little low, finding a dungeon that's going to have enemies, like if we pull a Dark Nut dungeon here, although I don't remember seeing gels in the Dark Nut set, I could be wrong about that.
Well, keys may start to come into play a little bit. Shatty, I think, saw this early ladder block and didn't want to burn the key, so he's just going to ignore the T-root clip and just burn the key now, but then he's got an extra one.
Yeah, and geez, another landmo this time has a river to help him through it. Well, yeah. Wizards, a little more prevalent in this this particular level.
Well, now you're kind of hoping that you start burning through these enemy sets. It's going to be like if you get up to 5 of them, then you can't get them in 9. So that's kind of the trade-off, maybe.
Alright, decision time for Koper. Managed to get a relatively early Triforce in a pretty big level. And Shatty finds the any key on the floor in level 5.
And was he at 0 when he found it, or was he still at 1?
I think he was at 1, but definitely had a very positive reaction upon finding it.
Yeah, so it looks like I'm only really asking that question, trying to figure out if it's essential for Koper to burn both of his keys that he's now covered to get there, or if he can afford to lose one.
Yeah, that's right, because the first room in level 5 asked for a key.
Yeah,
Oh, we've got
he was at 0, so yeah, Koper's going to have 2 keys in that dungeon when he gets there.
Alright, so now that we know the Triforce is, we only really care about staircase rooms if we're going to necessarily dig for this item, and since we're heading up, we're going to do that. Bomb upgrade at 121. Doubt we're going to see either runner have the money to pick that up as much as we'd like to.
Well, the meme with Shatty is he's going to burn it all in arrows, so your only chance is there for jkoper.
Alright, we got this 3-headed Gleeok sitting on a little under 5 health. This can be a little tricky, but Shatty's showing off some very good combat movement here. Like to use the back of the Gleeok to kind of buy a little bit more time here. Very nicely done. Does get the Gleeok down. And it's gonna pick up the Triforce now. We're gonna leave that there. See if we can pull a staircase item from one of the next 3 rooms.
Speaking of staircase items,
that's a big one. Silver's in 4, so definitely a good idea to decide to go back in for jkoper. But as you mentioned before, is sitting on 2 keys. So if we don't end up burning any more keys, and jkoper decides to do a circle and head back down toward the forgotten spots, we'll run into that 5 relatively soon.
Yeah, I think jkoper now is probably going to hope that there isn't anything underneath the power bracelet or the raft spots, because if so, you can basically try and go.
Yep.
I mean, like, if I find level 3 and it ends up being a small dungeon, I might stick around to just see, but otherwise I think probably a fair point to just go.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. If you have the chance to be in go mode, you kind of want to take it. At this level, these runners are so proficient, and you know that the times are going to be pretty good. You don't want to be sitting at like the 50-minute, 60-minute mark. Nice forced count by jkoper there. Yeah, you don't want to be sitting at like the 55-minute mark clearing extra rooms, hoping to pull what may end up being a luxury item, at least at this level.
Yeah, so I don't know that jkoper has seen any of the dungeons left on the board. I know that Shatty has seen 5, obviously, and has seen level 7.
7, yeah.
That is not knowledge that jkoper has yet. So we need to see 2 more dungeons on our end to declare the flute as enough to kind of make your way through the entire overworld without needing more overworld blockers.
Yeah, so being out of bombs, jkoper is going to head toward the more candle and flute-centric Dead Woods, it looks like. We'll find level 7 there.
7 is also really small, if I recall, at least for level 7
yeah.
purposes. I think it was like under 30 rooms.
Yeah, it's definitely nicer than some of the other 7s we've seen. I just think it's funny.
9.
Yeah.
You start halfway up that 9 on the right side, and it's smaller, so given the size of 7, I actually think level 8 is going to be pretty scary.
It's funny. It could just be like confirmation bias on my parts, but it almost feels like this because you have the 6 mandatory transports in 9 that it feels like the smaller level 9s are almost harder to navigate for me.
I mean, I assumed that it would rob me of some bomb walls, but it tended not to be that bad. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're gonna go. You're gonna have to bomb up or down.
What was that?
I heard the sound. He was at 2 keys already. Might have been a floor heart.
I did not see.
Oh, it could have been the map. That's a very good point.
Yeah, because the coloration of it was not heart, so map now makes sense. I mean, you can't be in Rent-A-Car Tracker with that call.
Alright, nice little mini pirouette there to get the bottom bomb door open. It's gonna get a compass on a very close by room here, so we'll see how much jkoper decides he wants to dig this. Wizrobes would definitely influence my decision.
Yeah, we got Magical Sword on the right side on 12 hearts, which we knew was going to happen, although Shatty, I think, was convinced it'd still be 14 for him.
Shatty very happy about getting max height. If you have it in chat, I believe Shatty has a max height. There it is. Thanks, Truus. We definitely saw some max hype there. That's going to be pretty big help in some of these Wizrobe dungeons. And if that level 8 is as big as we kind of think it might be, you know, the more combat you have that mags for, the more pronounced that effect is going to be.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting close to where we're down to like the ladder spots and maybe this level 2 lake. Maybe Death Mountain East as well. I don't recall if somebody had it up there.
So Shatty did do East Death Mountain relatively early, so there wasn't a dungeon up there. This spot, I don't think we checked right away, and that's our potion shop. Let's see, because yeah, jkoper did do the Eastern and Western Forest right away. We might... I think you're right, there's not much left.
Yeah, knowing what Shatty knows in the overworld, which is just everything but Death Mountain almost, I think from our view, we're probably looking at another item being required.
Yeah, that would be my guess. So let's see. It looks like he's got most of the stuff done. He's gonna flute. Now Shatty hasn't done West Death Mountain, so sitting on 6 bombs, we're gonna go ahead and take care of that. jkoper does find the wand as the staircase item.
Yeah, not as good as the magical sword, but if you get in a room with bubbles and it's not Wizrobes you're fighting, it's probably going to speed him up a little bit, so make it less detrimental that he's just on the wood sword. Yeah,
it definitely makes up the time, and also important for jkoper is that he's managed to come out pretty key positive in this dungeon, now sitting on 6. That's going to be pretty helpful. You always think you have enough keys in level 9 until you don't. So, just having that many can be a very strong peace of mind. Alright, that room can't drop. jkoper's going to get everything he can out of this 7. Might also just be banking on what you were talking about earlier, believing that we need another item to find this level 8 wherever it is.
Yeah,
or level 3.
Yeah, that, and he's just like, at this point, you got not a lot of rooms left in the 7. I mean, you clear this little segment out and grab the Triforce, and then you kind of look at your map and say, you know what, I'm down to, what, 7 rooms?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair number to decide to go exploring on. Anything that's single digits seems relatively reasonable. Oh,
Boomerang.
well. Patrick guarding the most desired of items.
Well, you're happy to get that information out of the way. Now we'll see how many bombs are required for this guy. Looks like 2
Oh,
at minimum.
yeah.
And let's see if he gets it all in one go. Yes.
Wow, nicely done. Alright, big moment for Shatty here as to whether or not he picks up the silvers out of 4. May also be of the similar mindset that we need another item to find the last 2 dungeons. So it's probably more likely to clear this or not, but that's would be a big turning point because Shatty's gonna find this Triforce in the very next room.
Yeah, my guess is based on where he's at. Even with the flute, I feel like he's gonna think about, but you kind of have to. And there's gonna be a situation here soon where he's gonna have to come back here anyways. We think.
Yeah, Flute definitely makes that decision a little easier, but yeah, we're gonna go back in.
Yeah, the rough part about this is he kind of left that in a weird route state. I mean, it may pay off. He may get there quicker, kind of like jkoper earlier, which is right here.
Yeah, because he left the top left. You're talking about leaving like some of the top left unexplored. So if you end up like clearing the right side and then you get an item out of there, you're like, well, I could have had the other one. Now I got to go back to the left side.
I mean, he's still gonna have to go back over there because he's probably playing under the. I think he's playing under the assumption now that there's not enough overworld left for 2 dungeons.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And I think it's what, level 2 second item, level 4 second item. And I think he saw everything in 5. We saw everything 6. Yeah, I think those are the only 2 places I can think of.
I agree. I think that's because we also saw everything out of 1.
So it's either it's going to be in 2, it's going to be in 4, or it's going to be on the 2 river spots because we didn't have the ladder to check those earlier.
Shaddy did check the ladder spots.
Oh, he checked it on the way over.
Yeah, one didn't open, and the other was that bomb shop.
So then he pretty much knows. Then I mean, he's got it down to maybe 1 or 2 spots, and then that's it.
Yeah, because he got the desert. The one Q2 spot is the one that I would expect to be checked later, but Shaddy did check that as well.
So this dig makes way more sense now, for sure. I mean, it already made sense to me, but now that he knows, it's pretty much got to be here. Either that or it's in 2, so we flew back there after if you need to. Or in his case, I guess he's got 7. But who wants to do that?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be where jkoper would definitely gain a little bit of time here. But we'll see which way. jkoper's got to be pretty close to having cleared the overall, but having the mags for these wizard rooms, if it does end up being in this fort, is going to be very nice for Shaddy.
A small concern, for me at least, jkoper looked like he was going to redive there. If that's the case, he's not seen 5, but 5 is accessible to him.
Yeah, so he probably has like a couple spots left on the tracker, but has decided to flute back to 2. So we might see just a straight up 2 versus 4 decision here. 2 being much smaller, but we didn't have enough keys last time. We're sitting on 6 here, so jkoper should be fine. Having the wand for the dark nuts, not that it matters as much for the red ones, but if we do find a massive blue dark nut room, having that wand is going to be a huge help.
And the other interesting point here would be that there is a Goma just to the north in this level 2.
Yep.
Also have it. So I don't believe we had an item underneath this Goma. Oh,
All
sorry for
right.
that.
No, that's a good memory out of. That's why when I play, I tend to track everything because I cannot trust on my old brain to remember stuff like that.
Let's see, we got some wizards in the Chevy. That's always a fun time. They get themselves stuck. So now we get to play the old go to the segment to open the key door to open the next segment.
I'm now kind of wondering if the other segment also had a key door just to kind of as a final punchline. I mean, we're fine on keys, but if you had done level 2 a little later when you were just sitting on 1, that would have been kind of rude. Alright, segment to segment.
And you just go up because this room won't drop anything, so you just try to get through it. And it's power bracelet? The like?
Yes. Alright, that's what we needed. Shatty is out of there on 4. I didn't see if he managed to get an item out of there. We don't have much left. We have the raft, and there's level 8 right away for jkoper. And that is... Dude, you look huge.
I didn't even see what was in that floor because I was too busy trying to figure out what was in the like.
Alright, Shatty's gonna go back into 2. Should, well, have the same amount of knowledge as the white sword on the floor in 4. Thanks, chat. Appreciate it. Yeah, not necessarily what Shatty was looking to find with mags already in hand.
Yeah, jkoper's not going to be missing out on too much unless we get a really nasty 9 set, so he also chose to leave that level 8. I didn't see if there was a problem there.
Yeah, you know, what I'm wondering is because it was so big that we're still missing 3, right? So jkoper might just want to know, do I need to dig this level for the raft?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And 5 as well. Yeah, that's right, because still also looking for 5.
I thought we had the wand out.
But yeah, this could be where not finding 5 in that one candle spot could really come back to hurt jkoper. Because if he finds level 3 and then operates under these, and only level 3, and then operates under the assumption that I need the raft for 5, could end up full clearing a gargantuan level 8 that Shatty would just grab the Triforce and run.
Here is level 3. Yeah, level 5 is in a weird spot. Like, you don't think of that flute spot near Vanilla Start. You just, like, sometimes you just space it. So I'm wondering if he's gonna remember it when he goes back to Vanilla Power Bracelet spots. Or if he's just gonna forget about it.
Yeah, I think to that end, like well, let's see if jkoper decides to dig, but if he does, like the best case for him might actually be to find the raft promptly.
I'm working on the assumption he's just gonna go mode that. Come back with the flute if he has to.
Okay. Yep, that seems to be the idea.
So let's see, he's going to 7. So he's trying to get to 6.
That's a cute little sword beam from right before the tornado hit.
So he's going to second quest arrow. Got a troll.
Yeah, that's where he is. He's okay. If he's tracking everything, then he's gonna be missing that one flute spot, and we'll find level 5. That'll be great for jkoper. Shatty going to work on this level 8. It's my precious, the red ring. Always happy to see it.
Let's see where jkoper goes next. He is marking down some stuff on a tracker. I'm not sure how much of his overworld he tracks.
Alright, if we're heading down from... Okay, yeah, he's switching it up. Alright, crisis averted here. Good decision from jkoper to decide to check the overworld before going into this level 8. We'll now know that he is, in fact, Triforce and go.
Time to get the sunglasses back on.
Yeah, it's a rather bright level 5. It's too late, it's dark outside. You don't gotta flashbang like that, us like that, level 5.
I think he's gonna right way to the key. So that's
Yep.
not bad.
Yeah, that was the main possible bugaboo, I think, for jkoper, is if just something ended up being key intensive. But yeah, we've got the any key, no worries there.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting finish. Shatty's going to have to do a lot of cleanup work, but he's got a good chunk of 8 already explored. So the real question becomes: jkoper will not get the magical sword in this seed. He'll be on the combat he has. So if he kind of works his way through this 8 fast enough, will he? I guess not lose to the combat differential is what jkoper will have to do.
Yeah, and just like the sheer luck of whether or not you find the Triforce early in this level 8, Shatty finding the Raft in 8, that's not necessarily a good thing. It would be 2 extra spots that we know at this point don't necessarily lock anything. But having the mags for this blue Dark Knight room, for example, very nice.
Oh, that death is going to hurt a little bit.
Yeah, jkoper's still in pretty good shape here, though. But 3 hearts is 3 hearts. the game will do that to you sometimes.
Yeah, I guess it's just going to come down to what enemy set we have in there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do we get the Wizrobe set in level 9? That was the Wizrobes and Lionels, which for Shatty, Mags and Red Ring, not necessarily important. But for jkoper sitting on Green Tunic and a Wood Sword with the Wand, it's a huge difference.
It only took 1 fireball in that one, so much easier time of it. And these guys should not pose a threat. They're so easy to kill.
Yeah, there's definitely a pretty good chance that Red Ring was relatively early in level 8.
That's a good comedian there, that bait block in 8.
Yeah.
That we walked from that side basically, so chances of it being important are pretty minimal.
Alright, let's see if we get the Triforce in the bottom left leg of this, whatever this thing is.
I think jkoper will have his defense here.
Yep, there it is. So now Mag's the main differentiating factor between the 2 runners as far as their power level goes. But
yeah, it'll almost mean nothing if it's not Wizrobes, because the wand in play there, but that assumes that Shatty does not find the wand, so he's go loading it.
yeah, I want to say the wand was pretty close to being on the way, if not directly on the way.
The magical sword would be a big advantage if it's Wizrobes and 9.
Alright, Shatty finds the Triforce after clearing out probably about 75% of that 8. If jkoper decides to head down instead of left, May pick up a bit of time here, but Shatty now still has some overworld exploring to do. Still needs to find that level 3.
It kind of depends on which way jkoper goes in here. If he goes down instead of trying to go left where the obvious path is, then he's going to make up some time to be able to kind of give back in 9. It's going to go left, so that's going to give Shatty some extra time to clean up these checks in Death Mountain Beach. There's one important one up here.
Yep, I believe this is the level 3 spot right here. I did not see exactly what the door repair was. I want to say it was a little over 20.
Yeah, a lot of the ones that got hit when we were at not a lot of money left. I'm sure we hit 1 or 2 in there, but yeah, jkoper must do that.
Alright, fast Triforce for Shatty in 3. It is off to level 7 in the Dead Woods.
I'm just gonna reset and look at that.
Always love seeing when that comes into play.
He's heading to the Dead Woods to answer the question, chat.
Yeah, the 7 wasn't too big with mags. Shatty should clean this up relatively fast, but I think we're still looking at jkoper being, especially now that jkoper is not on the far left side of the map. I think we'll see jkoper into 9 a little faster, but I mean, it's a big level 8. Could swing either way.
Right now, my guess is jkoper is going to get into 9 first because he's literally like a room away now.
Yeah.
If he goes left. Nope. The Beamos are trying to force him left. That would save him a little bit of time.
Looking for the convenience bomb up north. Shatty heading to the top right. I want to say the I don't remember. I want to say
Triforce is in the second ecom. It's that one room that you can go past and snake around and look for the magic boomerang in.
Gotcha.
I only remember because it was the Manhandle double moat room. And
that's right. The +4 man, or plus a lot Manhandle.
I think jkoper is going to need the compass to help him out a little bit here.
Yeah, we should come. A pretty good chance of coming across it soon, because I don't believe Shatty found it on the left side. But it's not here.
Well, because of the little adventure we're on here, as we are going to find the compass now, I think we're going to get in there about the same time, give or take.
Yeah, Shatty gets the compass from 7, now knows exactly where he's got to go.
I'm trying to think of who has the faster pathing. I guess jkoper could go in there with full health, whereas Shatty's is just an up and A.
Yeah, I suspect with Red Ring in hand, I don't even think we're going to see either of the runners take the time to purchase a potion at this point.
Yeah, both runners have 9's location. They're both go mode, so it's just a race to get in there first. I think if it's about even, it favors Shatty, just because of Magical Sword. Though it's not much combat difference again if it's not a Wizrobe set.
Yeah, that's going to be the big differentiator here, I think.
Yeah, so they're basically, they're going to be stereo entering this 9, so there's no difference at all.
That is pretty awesome.
So who goes the right way is really the question. Well, they're both going to go the right way for me.
I know Shatty would always tell me to, if you go into a door, there's just like a very small area. You want to check that spot immediately, because if that's the Zelda door and you check the rest of the dungeon, it's going to feel awful.
Now, jkoper needs to get there with a bit of an advantage when he gets to Ganon, though. Oh, that's a cute staircase.
Yeah, 4 hits versus 16. It's going to be a pretty big difference there.
Well, 15, but close enough.
Oh, there you go.
And I think it was a boss set up plus or minus 2, so could I guess in theory roll down?
Seeing Guria's in here, I believe it's pretty good for jkoper, because I thought the accompanying enemies for the Wizro rooms were Lionels, if I remember right.
Yep, no staircase there, so I think gotta just go left, really. Maybe not.
Alright, definitely going to want to see Shatty clearing these rooms, and jkoper as well. Anytime you see a shutter door, definitely want to get that room clear, just in case it's the Zelda room. But we are looking for a roar. When we are adjacent to the Ganon room, you'll hear the roar, but also on the top right side, the word life will change to roar to help you out, just in case you have a boss that's overriding it.
Yeah, they were room for room there again for a moment. Now they're going to potentially separate a little bit. And we'll have to look at the right side for the roars. Left side will get the sound too, potentially.
Shatty is out of bombs at this point. Cobra is going to pick up this heart. Might just be in case there's double hearts here, like something goes catastrophically wrong if Max is accessible.
I don't know. It's an interesting thing to pick up. I'm going to go back to start and take the left door. In fact, they both will.
Yep. And almost.
Shetty's out of bombs, by the way.
Yeah, that's definitely a concern here at this point. We have the money to pick up bombs from that absurdly expensive bomb shop if we have to. And ooh, very fortunate bomb drop for Shatty there. And why not two? Oh, Shatty does have a potion. Okay, cool.
Oh, we got the roar. Here we go. It's down in the EE column. Can I get there this way? So I got to turn around. I don't think it's possible to bomb down the other room. I think we saw that, so... No, maybe I'm wrong. No, there's a door here. Never mind. I'm thinking two rooms back. So it's going to be a basic stereo Ganon again, if we can get in from this side.
And we can. Move out of the way, manhandler. We got a pig to fry.
There is a shutter door to the south, so if this... It's going to be a stun lock that jkoper has to get here, I think, to not fall behind.
Didn't get it on the first look here. Shatty does. Big difference here. Alright. And
GG.
there, yep, there's the open door. GG's for Shatty. Taking this one home with a race time of 1 hour and 8 minutes and 20 seconds and 6 seconds.
And there you have it. That's a really close race. Probably one of the closer races you're going to get in this tournament, just because the extra shenanigans that ensue.
Yeah, 14 seconds. And the difference in them entering level 9 was like maybe 5 seconds. Mags was the difference. Maybe that heart pickup too. But Mags definitely being the MVP in that particular level. So I believe we are joined by Shatty. GG's. Well done.
Hey, thanks. Crazy one, man. It was wild watching that back.
Very, very close. Mags, definitely an instance of Mags hype. I think for you, definitely had a very positive reaction upon picking up that sword.
Yeah, we were telling Coper in the race room, just like so lucky, right? Like Coast Heart was, enough hearts to get it, and then it was like right there. I was like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. Never happens.
So I guess the only real question I have for that race, I think, is at what point were you starting to believe? I mean, definitely you did when you were digging 4, but at what point were you starting to believe that I needed to clear or to dig dungeons to get that power bracelet or a raft? Were you out of overworld spots at the point where you were digging 4, or were you
Yeah,
just
so that's all I had left was that West Death Mountain. So I checked around up there before I went into 4. And I was like, all right, I need the bracelet, so let's just start digging. This 4 was pretty big, man. So I didn't really want to spend a lot of time in there if level 3 was just hanging out up there.
Yeah, that was one of the differences I think between the two of y'all. I think when we get we have jkoper in here, so GG's jkoper, well done. That was a very close race.
Thanks, GG.
Yo, GG's Cooper.
I think being truthful about it, you could pick probably any number of like small micro decisions that were made throughout the race and it made the difference in this one. Just because there are chances to pick up extra hearts, because there's a chance at 9 to pick up a heart at that point, because there were basic decisions in dungeons where you could pick one door over the other. It's really hard to pinpoint what exactly it was.
Yeah, I didn't skip any hearts. That's definitely not. I mean, until 9, or I didn't skip any hearts, so that wasn't an issue. I did skip the one or I didn't skip the one in 9. And, of course, that might have made a difference too. But I didn't see any hearts that I didn't take, other than, no, I haven't bought a candle, right? So, I think
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of where Shatty got the extra 2 going into 9 or before that.
yeah, so he did 3 at the end, right? Because I didn't get any items out of there.
Right.
And, yeah. So either...
Was it doing a 5, I think, for one
yeah,
of them?
Yeah, either 5 or 4, or, yeah, it had to be one of those 2.
Yeah, 5. I grabbed a heart out of 5. 5 confused me, man. I don't know if I was in there with a key. I was so confused. I didn't think I had keys, and then I went to like buy a key, like kind of south of where 7 was, and then I looked up and I had 2, and I was like, wait, what? I was like so confused. I don't know if I just maybe I didn't have bombs and I saw 0. I don't know. I'll have to go watch it back. I bought that key and I looked up and saw I had 2 keys and I was like, dude, I just came from 5 and I couldn't get in because I didn't have any. Like, I didn't even understand. Just a complete like brain fart, I guess. I don't know what the heck happened there.
And then you pull the any key from it.
Yeah, right. Of course, right.
What I particularly liked, especially toward the end, jkoper, you found level 8, but then instead of diving that behemoth of a level right away, you made sure to go find 3 and 5 and make sure that you didn't necessarily need that raft that ended up being an 8, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I don't know if it ended up saving me time in the end because I ended up finding the raft anyway, but yeah, that was exactly
Yeah, I think that's what puts you in a little bit of a lead going into 9. It was only like at a 5-second lead, and then I think you both up-A'd like within 5 seconds of each other, and I think it might have been like a 2 or 3 second difference going in again, and it was
Yeah,
just
we watched the end. It's
yeah.
don't need that.
It was. Yeah, the decisions basically led you back to 9 at the same time. So it's, I don't know. I guess chat's kind of talking maybe the latter heart or something. Maybe it was the other one. We're trying to sort out which one it was.
No, the latter heart
5.
made a
Had
difference.
to have been 5.
Yeah,
Yes,
I gotta
5,
get the heart out of 5. So.
5 and a Lamella room at 2. I think was another one maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the heart out
oh.
of 2 as well.
Maybe, I guess. Yeah,
You didn't have it the first time because it prohibited you from picking up the book, so it's a question on the redive if you got the heart. I guess that would be the other one.
Did you get the bracelet super early or no?
no, definitely not.
I messed up my keys in there. I used one when I could have like bombed, and I was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And then I got
Well,
key blocked out of the rest of the level. So I did.
No, I was
Go
in
back.
pretty
Wait.
early. It wasn't a very pleasant dungeon with all the blue landmolars and stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
I did at least one Kananaki in there. I mean, at least one. It was one Kananaki. And then, yeah, I took the stairs over to the section that had the power bracelet, but then I didn't have a key to use there, so I just went back and grabbed the Triforce and then came back later after I basically like cleared the rest of the old world. So
Yeah, pretty much the same. It was either go back to 2 or start diving in 7.
yeah, what saved you a little bit is that blue Landmola hugs the left side to start, so jkoper basically sprinted up into that Gomer room, burning his key in the same spot you burned it. So that's why he didn't go left and bomb through there either. So you both did the same thing.
yeah, yeah, I wasn't that worried about it. I guess I suppose it just seemed like the play.
For you, it seemed like the correct play. I think Shatty had the Lambo down, had the decision to bomb left or key up. Chose to.
Yeah, I just messed that up. It just I walked through that key door and I was like, dude, like what are you doing?
Yeah, you have some.
It was so early, you know, you get like the early like race nerves. I was not happy at that point. I'll tell
Yeah,
you
you had
that.
some interesting emotions going on, like the burn spot in the dead woods, just like shaking your head and walking away from it after you opened it, and another spot where you're just like bouncing in your chair because you're just like, what am I doing?
Not the cleanest seed I've ever played, I'll tell you that. But, you know, I got a little lucky. I mean, just the luck on that mags is like astronomical. Just to be able to pull that heart, like, and then watching it back and seeing, you know, mags just slicing through Ganon. It's just, that's why we love this game, right? Like, sometimes you just get lucky, and especially in a tournament, like, you have to get lucky. Everyone's so good, so you know, we knock on wood, and it continues.
Well, it was game 1. It was a 14-second difference. Perhaps the Peanut Gallery was rooting for game 2 to be about as close, and perhaps just the other way, so the game 3 hype happens.
Yeah, I sure hope so. But would have been nice to find one more heart somewhere. I guess I don't know if there was an overworld heart left. I don't keep track. It seemed like there was maybe a possibility of that. In which case, grabbing the raft might have helped, but at the same time, just should have. I mean, there's a million things I could have done to save that much time.
Yep.
Definitely skipping the heart in 9 could have been an option. But, I mean, I felt like I was ahead. I'm not gonna lie. Everything went really well for me. I had one death, and it was pretty inconsequential, I felt. I just died to some land molas, and I was like, whatever, that was kind of the end of what I was doing over there anyway, so yeah. And I felt like I right-ordered things well enough, just didn't get the magical sword.
Yep, just 2 experienced runners going at it and finishing within 20 seconds of one another, less than that. So. it's a fun watch. Glad we got to see this one because it was definitely entertaining to see you two go at it. I would say at most one or the other had maybe a minute or two lead at any given point. It just got erased by other things that happened.
Yeah, thanks for doing the commentary and tracking, guys. I'm glad that we could get this show put on because there's some questions about that until the last second, and yeah, but obviously it's a good race for everyone to watch. So we'll see you again tomorrow night, even later. So thanks, guys.
You bet. Yeah, tomorrow night at 9:15 Pacific. I believe I'm looking at this right. 12:15 a.m. Wednesday morning on the East Coast. Yeah, that will be game 2. Definitely looking forward to that. If it is as good as this one, we're definitely in for a banger. So I appreciate you both. This was a really fantastic race to watch, and I'm sure game 2 will be just as great.
Yeah, thanks guys for stepping in last minute. And yeah, GG jkoper, and we'll try it again tomorrow. Thanks.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, looks like there are quite a few races. If you count that Wednesday morning start time for East Coast, then there are 6 of them. Not sure which are going to get channels and where they will be at. You'll have to check the Speedgaming schedule, or our Discord will have a link there as well. Looks like we have at least one game 2 on the board at 9:15, and then obviously this one will have a game 2 as well. So whichever ones have game 2s would be my guess as to what would get priority, but you never know. Kind of also depends on what we got for crews. If you want to sign up to be a part of the crew, just head over to Discord, head over to the volunteering area, and we can get you set up with that. That'll get more races on the air. Similarly for trackers, if you want to jump on board there, definitely always can use the help. So again, feel free to head on over. That gets them on the air, and that gets more excitement like we got tonight. That's all I got for my hype up of comms and tracking. So let the runners go get some sleep. I'll go get some sleep. I don't know about you, Flurry.
I'll probably be playing something. If another race pops up in the next 30 minutes, I might even join it. I definitely want to shout out our tracker, Kami and Rink. I really appreciate this time of night stepping in, getting this going. And yeah, there are a slew of races tomorrow. If you enjoy watching Zelda 1 Randomizer, there's a treasure trove of matches coming up tomorrow, all really good. So be sure to check those out. Fury, again, appreciate you stepping in at the last minute, helping us out. Yeah, have a good night, y'all.